I'm honestly surprised I haven't gotten multiple comments about my shitty mustache. I guess nobody actually looks at my face while watching these videos. That's fine. Anyway, this right here is the brand new album from bass god aficionado superstar Flea and his record Honora. Now, before I talk about this record, I do want to share a couple thoughts about Flea's band, Red Hot Chili Peppers, legendary rock band, and I feel like my thoughts towards them has changed quite a bit over the recent number of years because I always felt like Chili Peppers was like this chill, cool vibe act, guys who just want to be funky and have a good time and spread love and, just whatever, be cool. But actually, well, first of all, Anthony Kiedis is, uh, you know, a pervert. And also, he's surprisingly really aggro. I remember years ago, he got into the face of a player at a Laker game and he looked like he was about to fight the guy. And I thought, Anthony Kiedis gets that amped up over sports? For some reason, that really shocked me. And also, last year, I believe it was last year, Flea almost fought his bass tech in the middle of a concert because I guess his bass was out of tune or there was something wrong with the bass and he looked like he was about to like flail his body at the guy. And I'm like, I thought Flea was chill. But now I'm realizing that those guys have been rock stars for a really long time, 35 to 40 years. And when you're that famous, that rich for that long, most likely you're an asshole. So, yeah, it is what it is. Now, I want to say that this record right here is a pretty interesting dive into alternative new jazz. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is a jazz record? Ho, 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 ho! Holy shit. That means this is an official Jazz Daddy review. That's right. I am here to talk about the most relevant and most important genre of music to the youth of today. That's right, jazz music. When I say jazz, you say jazz. 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 I hope you did it. Now, I will say, going into this album, I thought that this was going to be somewhat of a bloated kitchen sink vanity project that Flea put together out of boredom in between tour dates with the rest of the band. And I can definitely say this record is for sure a lot more interesting and a lot more enthralling than that. Now, as you're getting into this record, the first thing you really hear that's pronounced on here is Flea's signature plucking of the bass. I feel like that's him kind of giving you a little bit of what you're familiar with or what you expect of him. And he's kind of just getting that out of the way before he actually dives into what he actually wants to do, as far as featuring his very high end performance as a trumpet player and all of his various compositions into the whole world of jazz music. And the thing with me with this record is that I feel like for every positive step forward, there's a step back that comes immediately after it. Now, I think this record is good, but at the same time, for every track on here that, like, let's say the track that features Tom York, which I do like, I think it showcased the vocals of Tom York really well. But then you get the track that features Nick Cave on vocals, and I just find that to be somewhat of a throwaway. I didn't really care for that song. And then you have I would say, a gorgeous interpretation of the Funkadelic song Maggot Brain. I think it's beautiful. I really, really enjoyed that. But then you have Flea's interpretation of the Frank Ocean song Thinking About You, which isn't bad. It's not bad, but I just feel like it's a slightly richer version of the original instrumentation without the vocals. I just don't think it was actually something that felt necessary or vital in any kind of way. I do think it is really cool to see someone like Flea, who is of huge stature in rock history, get a chance for the first time in his career to kind of just roam, explore, and just do whatever he felt like doing without any kind of concrete expectations. I just feel like this album is interesting, but I already know this is not something that I'm really going to go back to, at least not much more than I am probably after a couple of weeks. It's beautiful at times. I have to say that. This record is beautiful at times, but also it's kind of just here and gone, if I'm being completely honest with you. I do think it's worth your time. I do think it's worth checking out. I do think there is something that a lot of people will find enjoyment in. But at the same time, it's a okay detour. I'm glad Flea got to do it, but 7 sticks of butter. Peace, love, butter.